Pixels, buttons, a bit of fun. Then, somewhere along the way, the big platforms moved in. Last year, $200 billion flowed upwards, away from the people who actually play. This year, they take it back. YOM, where players play games straight from your PC, not a data center in Virginia. Meet Tyler Pemberton. Yes, this looks dramatic, but he's perfectly fine. Tyler's offline. His PC isn't. 47 players streaming from his GPU right now. Even AFK, Tyler's rig is pulling its weight. He's making money in his sleep. Maybe this is what happens when gamers finally take control of their own world. Turn your idle GPU into passive income. YOM.net. Eat, sleep, earn, repeat.
Next Town Hall, we're going to talk about Season 2, the new Quest format, the full structure for our advanced community participation system.
How about that, huh? How about that trailer? Hey, everybody. How's everyone's evening going? You've got a banger tonight. We're going to talk about Season 2. It's a lot going on over here. And I think that it's already proving out to be a huge success with a lot of traffic being generated already. And, of course, an initial bug that we're working hard to fix while this broadcast is going on there. The tech team is getting that change out there so that people who are panicked about, hey, some of the rewards XP that I earned on Discord, they didn't show up in the transfer. That's being corrected as we speak, and before this hour is over, it should be done from what I understand. So welcome to the town hall, everybody. Happy to have everyone here. Excited about talking about this one. This has been a long time coming. I mean, you saw Season 1 end 2 weeks ago, and it may have looked like to you folks it's only a 2-week period, but this really has been a lot of work that's been culminating. Gosh, I think since the beginning of the year, we were talking about how are we going to improve our quest system and give more rewards to the community in a better structured way, something that will carry on long term, long after the network goes live and gets mass adoption. We wanted to make sure the community members are taken care of. So we were talking about this from a long time ago. But let me back up. I'm gonna pause for a bit, stall a little bit while we wait for more people to find the stream. And the way that I generally do that is I bring up some of the images from our community. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So what we do is we have, well, people already know, or most people know already. We have a mascot. His name is Walter. Walter is a rust-colored gorilla. He wears blue jeans and a white T-shirt that has the YOM logo on it. He wears round blue tinted sunglasses. Those are the prompts. And actually, we generally say he's a slightly overweight rust-colored gorilla. If you don't say gorilla, I'll give that warning in a second. Anyways, so generated by Gadget B. Appreciate it. And after we tell you the names of these accounts, my suggestion is go ahead and follow them on Twitter because I think that they offer the YOM community something nice, getting involved. On Wednesday, I showed off this one as the winner for the Wednesday broadcast. I do like this a lot, the idea of Walter playing soccer with any of us. And again, I thought that was a well done, cropped in image. I think for today, we're going to go Gadget B, brought out this other one as well. And it's a great image. I love the logo on the car. Probably swapped out from Mercedes. The one thing I would warn about is if you look up here, see that bald spot right there in the front of his head that my cursor should be over right now? Makes him look more Bigfooty or more orangutan-esque than gorilla-esque. It's just that little bit right there makes him look not quite gorilla-y. I think the Walter is not going bald like some of our favorite people. Anyways, and again, Walter should be slightly overweight. I mean, the guy's working behind the desk most of the time. Walter's mentality is very much like the dude from The Big Lebowski. He's accepting that decentralization is inevitable. It's going to happen. So he doesn't have to fight. He doesn't have to argue. He just kind of rolls with it because he knows that is coming. All right. So those are the community posts. I do also want to touch on this one thing. We have been talking in the last couple of weeks about what Amazon's cloud has been doing and what Microsoft is doing with their Game Pass. We didn't really talk much about NVIDIA. We're going to do that today. But we created this article. It's on our blog. It talks about why when we say that decentralization is inevitable and that's going to happen for cloud gaming. We look at in this article here what happened to Luna and what's happening with Microsoft as they struggle. And we're sympathetic a bit, right? These big centralized gaming distribution centers, their distribution models where they're centralized, they're not scalable. As the games get more and more successful, and this has been showing out to be true as much what has been anticipated, cloud gaming is getting more and more people, and less people are buying the hardware and storing it at home because first, the hardware is getting more expensive. Secondly, it's just not available to many places of the world. People don't have that kind of an income. But a cloud gaming subscription is something that most people can reach out to if they're close to a data center, right? And if they can afford those prices, because again, like we're saying, Xbox has been cranking up their prices to compensate for the widespread adoption that they're getting. Basically, their success is costing them more money than they anticipated and can compensate for, even as they bring up the subscription price. If they bring the subscription price up too high, which is what they did, everyone says that's just too much. I'm not going to do it. What they decided to try is we'll drop that price down, but we'll also take out games like Call of Duty, which is of course a hugely successful title. And people are saying, but Call of Duty is the reason why I came here. So again, that the centralized model just doesn't scale. And those are just two examples. I've been being sent from people in our community. I'm going to share that screen. It's a different share. People have been sending me from, I guess these are all from Reddit, right? Images from people who are using GeForce Now. And they're saying things like, hey, there's 55 people ahead of me in the queue. And this guy was like, hey, I'm on the performance tier and still got in the queue. Damn, I thought I was going to get into the game easily. So let me swatch my screen here so you guys can see a little bit better. So yeah, so he's number 55 and waiting and waiting and waiting. I was also sent this image here. My wait list has been stuck at 30 for an hour and a half. Oh, excuse me, for half an hour. Anyways, complaining again. This is a central model that it doesn't really scale. They can't add more machines to the network because to handle the peak loads on Friday night or Saturday when everyone's trying to play, because they have to have those machines sitting idle on a Tuesday, though they're still spinning and still getting cooled, and the equipment just kind of costs them money when it sits idle. So they're trying to do a balancing game between we have these machines and we have this many of them so that we can afford them on a Tuesday, but then when Friday comes around, they've got these long wait times. Another image I was sent. The queue is crazy in India. So 466 people ahead of this person waiting to jump into GeForce Now. And then this last one was the ambassador from GeForce Now said, hey, well, just try changing servers. And the guy's like, I'm in India. There's only one server. And if I change to the other one, the ping will be like 170. So it's not going to work for me. And again, we're sympathetic to them because they're NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, they're working off of an old model and they're trying different things to change with the pricing mechanism to better suit the load that they have. And again, that can be more and more expensive for them. But what they're not trying, and again, because it's not easy to do, we've been spending 5 years to build the network that we now have live. The technology is not easy to build to be decentralized. And I don't think they want to necessarily do that. What we said in that blog post you'll read is that we can offer them, put us at their edge. One of them will do it eventually. We'll be at their edge. They can still have their central model for some portion of their user base. But if they use us or a decentralized model at the edge, they can bring their costs down because we're about 95% cheaper than having that central server. We're allowing people, if you don't realize from the commercial at the beginning, We allow people to take their gaming rig, put it on our network, and sell their GPU cycles to us. And we use those gaming rigs around the world from people's homes or the home offices to stream the games to the end user in their local area. So, and it allows us for more flexibility. We can stream games through a URL, through Discord, through Telegram. So it doesn't have to necessarily be through an aggregator, though we can also power the aggregators as well. All right. Again, most people who are tuning in today, I think, are part of our community. We've got a massive community, and it's when I say massive, the numbers are blowing me away. We've been live for what, 2-3 hours, and already the leaderboard is just filling up with people who are doing quests and earning their rewards, which is great. And I'm going to make sure everyone, you got questions. I know you got lots of them, so I'll make sure I leave plenty of time at the end of this to go through everyone's questions. And if you, especially as I talk and lead everybody through what the leaderboard looks like now, because they're likely to raise some more questions for you. Please feel free to drop your questions in. I'm using Restream to do the broadcast. I can see questions coming in from X and from YouTube. And I imagine if anyone's putting a question into LinkedIn, because I'm also streaming there, I'd see a question in real time there. So I've got the questions up. We're not going to have a guest. I tried to pin in both our CMO, Yaron, and then the engineer who's actually, like I said, right now working on the fix to get those last bits of XP transferred over. But obviously he's really busy. So we're going to do it solo. I'm going to walk through as best as I can. My understanding of the system is as complete as can be, but I'm not the guy who designed it or built it. I'm just one of the admirers, like many of you are, who are in the system now. Let's see. Where should we start? Should we start with how season 1 ended and the summary there? Because it's probably a pretty good place to start, though I don't think I brought it up. I have the summary on our own X account. Let me go there. And let's take a look at what we posted. Profile, and here we go. So here's a summary. We had 868,000 participants. That's massive, right? That's just huge. I'm blown away by that. Now, again, to be fair, what we're kind of doing as we're parsing through all the information about who gets the rewards and what the reward rank size is going to be, a fair amount of those people, I think that's what the 303,000 stayed and built means. The other portion of them maybe did a quest or two and then kind of backed away or didn't follow through on many more. So let's really say that the active participants end up being 303,000, which is still huge. And this goes to show, I think, that a good project that, we're in that space where cryptos is kind of going, everyone's like keeping the hands off it. The market's kind of cooling. It's a little bit warming up now, which is kind of good. But we've always contended that the projects that can build through the bear and have real value and provide a real service for people who are looking for something, they're looking for the service anyways. Cloud gaming is a service that everyone's looking for anyways. But if you can do it less expensive and with a minimal intrusion of the blockchain, like for us, the gamers don't have to know anything about blockchain. The studios who put their content on our network don't have to know anything about blockchain. We're very smart about our designs to say that that's really not for them, that half of it doesn't have to be for them. It's really the blockchain is for those people who participate by hosting a node and earning rewards and being part of our community. So again, this is all intentionally designed to be that kind of separation. But those projects who can build through the bear and use blockchain only when it's necessary. Don't pigeonhole it or jam it into every portion of the project because it's just still off-putting and still a big learning curve for a lot of people. Those projects will be the ones that last in the long run, which again is exactly where we're at right now. So yeah, the top 10,000 are going to be earning are going to be in the earning pool, and we did it on a graduated scale. So there's different ranks, and we're going to show some of that off now. But not so it's not like we take the reward pool that we have and distribute it evenly over the 10,000 people. That's not fair. People who did more and more work should receive more and more rewards, and it's on a slope. It's on a curve. It's not on a straight line, and that's done intentionally again, because we want to encourage people to participate at a high level. And then we thought, again, this happened at the beginning of the year or maybe at the end of last year, we were thinking, if we switch over to a season system, then we can allow people who have just recently found us to compete again at a level playing field, on a level start from everybody who's already been involved. Because we've had a lot of really smart, intelligent, active people come in only this year because we've been hitting the circuit as it is and getting a lot of notice. So that's why the reason to have a start at 0 again for season 2. But we didn't want people who spent the entirety of last year. I think that season 1 lasted a fair amount of time, almost a year. We didn't want those people to lose everything that they've earned, as far as a ranking system. So we came up with the system that we're talking about today, the tiered system. Let me go over to that. So when you log in into our network, into the app, it's app.yom.net. And you can use it. We can use a wallet to sign in. You can use an email account to sign in. You'll see many different parts of this whole section over here. I can see my host is operating. I can see because I actually run a node here, and it's called GW V2 because we're running now version 2, which went live this week. I can see all this stuff, and I can see the quests that I've done. And honestly, I don't do a lot of quests. I feel like it's a little works against the spirit of the thing. If I, as a team member, and I'm out there earning money through a quest, but you can come over to the quest system and it's got a lot there to look at. So let's look at the rewards first. Again, you can see that the season itself, season 2 right here, has its own ranks, and it's bronze through diamond. So I would imagine bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond is the 5 rankings. And it's those top rankings, the highest ranking, the diamond, I think diamond is the highest, that'll receive a larger percentage per person than, say, the silver will, and work it on down, which is the reason why people are asking, like, exactly how much am I going to be getting as my reward. We're still kind of, because we have to take those active members and pare it down to the ones who are actually active and divide it up over the system. So that's being worked on. We hope to get that information out next week. And then they have the lifetime ranking, and the lifetime ranking goes all the way from static all the way up to hyperarch, right? And that's, again, that never goes away. So as you doing more and more of the quests and you earn more and more XP, and you place in certain ranks during the seasons, your lifetime ranking will also rise. And lifetime ranking it's important not just because, again, you should be earning more YOM tokens as rewards for helping us in the community, but also because we're doing special events that will open up to, hey, only people who are in the core level or above will get to join us for this game night or this closed door session, this alpha session. Those kinds of events are likely to happen. We've got a lot of plans in the works. As I said, we've been doing this since beginning of the year. So the main things that are happening, but that's where your lifetime rank will come into effect. We can open the door for early access to games that we have new on the network. We could offer discounts for purchases of the hardware, if that's something that you might be looking to do. There's lots we can do when we look at the lifetime ranking things, and these are all ideas that we've been throwing around. So that's what you see here at the very start of the rewards, with the current season's rankings and your lifetime ranking as well. And then we're doing things like boosts, right, where we're going to allow people to earn more at certain points, and then doing certain things. There's certainly that we talked about, and that if I can find it again, there are boosts for having a daily participation. So if you're so many days in a row, you want to keep that daily streak going, so that we'll give boosts and things like that. There are many ways to add to the boost system. Let's see, I'm already looking at the chat, and I should stay away because it's going to get me sidetracked. What else do I want to talk about? So season 2, we said if we had 100,000 worth of YOM tokens, $100,000 worth of YOM tokens for season 1 rewards. This pool for season 2 is 80,000, and again, it's going to become more restricted because, again, we're looking to get the highest participation rate from the people who are most loyal to us and the most active to us. And it goes for 91 days. We're going this one's not going to have the whole 3-year lead, and that's another reason to cut down the amount, because we want to be able to save some in the pot for the next season. All right, what else can we take a look at? Let's take a look at the quests. So again, you see none checked off from me. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. What am I doing? I went through all of that and didn't share my screen, and no one called me out on it. Guys, I expect you to be my eyes and ears. What's going on? Let's go back over here. All right, really quick summarizing again. Bronze, that's your season. Lifetime ranking, static through hyperarch. Boosts. I talked about boosts. Man, I feel like I went to a good rant, and I'm looking at my screen and I'm seeing what I'm seeing, but you guys aren't seeing it. So let's walk through here. All right, so quests. Let me jump over to quests. And again, you're not going to see that I've done any of these quests because I don't think it's kind of like cheating if the guy on the project gets involved directly like that. But there are main quests, and they go on for quite some time. There are daily and weekly quests also, so you want to check these. And I know the one important piece is when you do the quest, you have to come back and claim your XP. You can't just by doing the quest expect that we automatically notice that you've sent out a tweet or something like that. Come back over here, hit your claim. And then the leaderboard. See, I guess I'm reticent to show leaderboard because I know it's not accurate. It's not accurate right now. There are still some XP amounts that are getting rolled in from the thing you guys pointed out in the Discord, that some Discord XP rewards were not populated yet. And I guess if I go over here, would I see the answer? Has that been done yet? It has no. I was just waiting for a message from the tech team. Tell me when that's been rolled in. But you would be able to see that. And again, you see both the quest ranking for the season and then the all-time, right? And you can see these are two different leaderboards. And the whole point of this is to encourage people to get involved. If they've come and found our project, but they're like, the quest, the ranking system is so far ahead of me, there's no reason for me to get involved and start doing some quests. That's not true, because we're started again at 0 here at the beginning of season 2. So now is really the best time to jump in. And I expect there are rewards for, and if there's not, there's soon to be quests about bring in some people, to refer some of your friends into the questing system, refer some friends into the network. So that's the other big part that I know I want to make sure I point out. Is it in here? No, that's just information for the season, which is still important information to have if you don't recognize that, these 5 rankings and what the importance of it is. But then let's go back here. Where was it? How it works. Yes. Okay. Here's where I want to talk about this. Now, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, because this has got to be small on your screen. There we go. All right. So basically, we're saying that everyone's climbing the same one ladder. Whether you're a community member or a node operator, it's one ranking system, and that goes to the lifetime ranking system. There's obviously an advantage to those people who are operating a node, and that's intentional as well, because we obviously, our network's relying on getting more and more people to operate a node in their area so that the network reaches more and more places in the world. And again, this is a better reward for you, not just because your ranking goes up, but because you're earning passive income with the hardware that you own. So there are two, we'll call them 2 pools of community members. They're the community members who are doing the social media stuff, which again, super important. And we really appreciate everyone who's working hard in that area. But then the operators as well. And those are the people who are operating a nano. And there are different quests for them as well. Obviously, keep your nano operating for 72 hours straight. Those kinds of quests are going to appear all the time. So, but it's one ladder, and it is one series of XP that gets converted into YOM at the end of every season. That was the other important piece I wanted to touch on. And I know I just had in my head I should go back and check on that one thing. What was it? We did ranks. We did earning XP. Yep. So here's another view of I think I know what it was. It was one of the quests, wasn't it? Oh, right. So if you're a community member and you're like, well, wait a minute, the operators have a quicker ramp, I guess, or another way to earn XP that you don't have access to, and maybe I actually want to go ahead and run a nano. Right here, this button here will bring you to the Rig Check app. And I've said before, I said it again on Wednesday. If you've run the Rig Check app once before, and you were told that your system's not powerful enough or not configured for our network, we've updated that Rig Check app to be more accurate. So there's a chance that you can come in, run it again. Our encouragement is to run it a second time and find out if results change based on the new version of the Rig app, of the Rig Check app. So please go ahead and find your Rig Check and see that you what you could possibly be earning in passive income. Top. Again, so here's some of the engagement bonuses: the 7-day streak, the 48-hour tier. Let's see. Yep. XP multipliers. I was going to go back and check. What was I going to check? Seasons. Let's go back here. Oop. See, there you go. Oh, I know what it was. I was going to show just how many people have gotten involved already, because it's like I said, it's been phenomenal. It's been active for what, 4 hours, 3 hours, not maybe even less than 3 hours, right? And we already have how many active people inside the? Oh, I bet she's updated right now during the live stream. This is why they were wishing me luck, because they knew they were going to do it during my live stream, throw me off. God love them. All right, let's. I'll tell you what. Let me pause for a little bit. We'll check the questions and we'll come back and check and see, because it was something like 500, 600 active Quest participants already, and again, it's been live for 3 hours, less than 3 hours. So it's a pretty huge adoption rate in my, humble estimation. Let's see. Kindly give us updates regarding S1 reward pools. It should be 0.4, and now you're splitting those between all sessions and acting like nothing happened. No, so we've heard this a couple of times. That's not true. What we said was originally it was going to be 0.2, and then we said, wait a minute, that's just not. People were like, that doesn't seem like a lot, and we were like, you know what, we're right. We can actually afford 0.4 for the reward system for this year. So we took the 0.2 and put that into season 1, and then we're going to take the other portion and put it into season 2. So the idea that that we misrepresented the amount that was going in is actually not true. We said instead of taking the 0.2 and splitting that across all the seasons, let's up it to 0.4, so that way the first season gets that 0.2. I hope that clears it up. Seasons introduced after loyalty program should end originally. Season 1 was planned to be 0.2, and it will be 0.2. Yeah. Thank you, Jersey. That is correct. So the people who are concerned, and again, we do have to wonder. I'd be curious, and I don't really, those letters I don't even recognize, so I can't even pronounce the name of the person asking that question. But where did you rank in the leaderboard? I guess would be my question back to you. And then we have to kind of wait until all the leaderboard is updated, all the data is finally migrated over. What else have I not touched on? Other questions that I have from the community, because again, I've got the time. I'm happy to take some more questions too. And I want to make sure that I represent every piece, because there's a lot that was dropped on to the system operator path. Did that already. There are, of course, lots of places in the. I don't think he likes my answer because he called it BS. Well, opinions are going to vary. There's a lot of places inside the system to find, like if you've got questions, obviously we've got the mods, and the mods are there to answer any questions people have. But how it works is a great place to go. So if you've come into the app, and I'll get you back to there. So if you've come in, you looked at the quest, and you're like, what was he saying about? Or I didn't understand completely how it all works. Well, we've got a button for how it all works. So go over there, and again, we walk through all the key information here. If there's a piece of information here that doesn't explain it to you in enough with enough understanding, then jump into the Discord, ask questions to the mods. They're happy to answer the questions. But ultimately, this is probably your best first place or quickest place to get a response, is to jump in here and find out what we're talking about when we say the boost system or the tiered system. What does it mean to have a streak going? Everything is here for you. And again, the work to do this app, I got to tell you, it was a good chunk. Now, as everyone knows, right, the network itself is a lot to build, the orchestration and everything. So we've added to the tech team to make all this happen. I don't want people to think that we put the YOM app ahead of the YOM technology. That is not the case. It's almost kind of two different tech teams. And that's, again, to make sure that we can operate on two different streams, two very important streams at the same time. But as you see, earlier this week, we left out version 2 of the Nano software is out live. It's being flashed to the hardware that we have that's available that we're going to start shipping out to those people who are actually, I think the shipping's already started, right? To the people who have done the pre-order at Fresh Miners. So we're going to have more nodes operating. That's, I guess, the other part of the app that's worth checking on is we have the whole network map, and it'll show you all the nodes that are live around the world. Oh, no, it's not, because right now we're updating the system. All right. But you can go to that network map and it'll show you that we're expanding out. We're heavy right now in Europe. We're heavy in East Coast of North America. We're reaching out to, we've got places in India. We've got some in South America. We've got some in Canada. What am I forgetting? I said India already. I'm sorry, for the Far East. So in the Asian section, though a lot of the Asian, we have a lot of community members who are coming in from Singapore and Japan and Korea. And obviously those are places where there's probably the best opportunity to earn passive income. No, it's not financial advice or anything, but a lot of it's obviously a very active gaming community out there, and a lot of interest in our network out there. So if you are considering passive income as a way to earn, boost your income through your machines that you own, certainly worth running the rig check on your gaming rig if you live in those areas of the world. Jeff, it's May 1st. Any firm date when the nano deliveries are to start? No, the nano deliveries have started already. We're flashing the V2 ones. It's just a matter of getting them all out to it's a customs issue in some places, but other places it's just a matter of getting those sent through the mail. So that has started, Jersey. Last week we left with the impression that it would be by the end of April. Right. As far as my conversation this morning with the tech team, those version 2 nanos have been flashed and are being put in post as yesterday or today. I will get a final word on that, but yes, we should really be trumpeting that on our Twitter accounts so people kind of be kept up to date. But thank you for the question, Jersey. And I'm saying Jersey, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's the best I can do. What have I not covered? I think that covered everything. Went through it fast in 30 minutes. It's easier to do these. Well, I guess these go faster when there's not a bunch of guests, when we don't have a guest coming in. Oh, yeah, no emails from Fresh Miners yet. I don't know if Fresh Miners is configured to send an email when we put it into post, but I will find out. And actually, mods, if you can catch that question. So when the mailings have started, is there Dizzy? There you go, Dizzy. Thank you. When the nanos are shipped, does Fresh Miner send an email immediately to the people who have made the purchase? It seems like that would be a good thing, but I don't know for sure that we're configured that way. So mods, if you can capture that question, let's get that answered in a Telegram or Discord or some other place we can let these folks know that's what's going on. Dizzy, I imagine then you're a purchaser. It sounds like you got your nano on the way. And then a question, the follow-up question to that would be, where in the world are you? I know what I also wanted to do today. Let me see if I can, let me get that off the screen for a moment and jump over to here. So I was curious to see, so as you guys may or may not know, we do 2 town halls each week. I do one on Wednesday. If you're in Europe, it's really late in the evening for you. It's about, it might even be 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. For me, it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the U.S. But that's to help us reach out to or have an appropriate time for people on the West Coast of the U.S. Anyways, we do, so that's on Wednesday night. I do one. It's generally, we cover a lot of the gaming industry and what's going on in the gaming space. And then on Fridays, we do a lot of the community things. We do a lot more of the guests and that kind of thing. So I wanted to check and see how well last Wednesday nights do. Wednesdays is not as big a night for viewership as it is as Fridays are, which is understandable. Not everyone can be awake. We got like I said, a bigger contingent in Europe, so it's late at night that it broadcasts there. But about 700 views from Wednesday night's broadcast. This past Wednesday, I did a whole breakdown of this report from Caledon, who are a blockchain marketing and research company, information broker, I guess how I said it. And they put out this scathing report about what happened to the blockchain gaming space, the Web3 gaming space, how it's, 93% of the projects that were funded have all kind of gone dormant, leaving only, a small handful that are still active. And as I say, though we empower Web3 games, we're not solely focused on, and actually I would say we've even backburned some of the important integration pieces for Web3 gaming, because we also recognize that the industry the larger gaming industry needs our network more than just a small subset of the blockchain gaming space. But the report talks about how many of these projects have shut down and everything. What is left out of the report is about 90% of the traditional gaming space also has projects that fail. 90% of the projects in the traditional gaming space also fail. So it's about 10% hit rates. Gaming is a really tough business. Like I said, I've been doing it for about 20. Well, I started my first gaming job was in 2000. So that makes me old. And it's 26 years of doing this. Oh, look at me, double me, and the same background, same t-shirt. I actually have more than one of these. So don't think I'm wearing the same one every time I do a broadcast. I'm going to pause that because I can't watch myself. It's going to be distracting. What was I saying? Yeah, oh yeah. So it's a tough business, right? So 10% of the games actually succeed in the regular traditional space. So 7% in the blockchain game space really isn't that far off base. The Calderon report doesn't really talk very much about that shared hit rate. But not only that report, there was an article from the folks at Genesis and at Trilith Games who kind of responded to that report to say, hey, it's not necessarily that blockchain fails when you put it into games. It's more that all the projects that were in the Web3 space there at that time were either leading with the economy and the economics, the tokens, the NFTs, the land sales, and putting the gameplay on the back burner if they ever got around to it, and many of them just didn't. So there's a lot of projects sprung up from people who were very they were focused on the blockchain tech side of things, and maybe didn't have a lot of experience building great games. And again, building great games is tough to do. So the folks that tried the games kind of had a response that was not necessarily saying that they really weren't saying that Caledon was wrong. They were basically saying that the conclusion to say that blockchain will never fit into gaming, that conclusion should not be the conclusion you come to from the report. It's more that there's a lot of lessons to learn. And the first most important lesson is gameplay first. And we've been saying this over here at YOM for, I guess, since I've been attached to YOM, which is 4 years ago, that gameplay has to lead the way. I actually said in another project I was working on as well. You can't expect that because the game economy is really robust and powerful. If no one shows up because the game is boring, then that economy doesn't get used anyways. It stagnates and people drop away, and then the whole thing spirals out of control. The other part is, you can't build it as a Ponzi scheme. You can't expect that you're going to have continuous growth in your user base, and that's the only way you fund and reward the people who have been in the very beginning. The Ponzi scheme, that kind of system will always fall down. Which again, if you've done, and I expect many of you have, a deep dive into our tokenomics is very different in that we have a token that's a utility. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not expecting don't take this as, oh, you should go out and get our token when TGE happens. All I'm saying is that we design our system to make sure that we're not, we need more in order to get more out kind of system. We've learned a lot. So what Trilith Games was saying, learn your lessons from those earlier failures, I think we take it to heart, and I think we've always kind of been that way. Anyways, I wanted to say thanks for these. That was again the top response. The guys from Trilith saw the broadcast. They appreciated that I was highlighting their report. They're both really good. So if you go to our YouTube channel and see the video, I've got links to both the Caledon report and the Trilith Games response. Yeah, so I want to thank the folks who are adding their comments to our Twitter. I don't know if everyone recognizes this, but one thing that helps our algorithm and our Twitter is when you not just write, hey, GM or yay or give an emoji, but the longer you text, the more that you say, the more that you add to the conversation and even respond to your responses. So if you put a response into one of our posts and someone has responded to you, respond to them, that kind of thing really helps the algorithm so that more and more people see the project and what we've posted. So I appreciate that. Pat in Crypto is asking when TGE, because again, that's a question that everybody has in their mind. And again, we have not got a firm date. So we stalled, or didn't stall, but we had to redo some work because MiCA, the European regulations kicked in March, and it kind of took us a little bit by surprise. We thought we were going to get all of our stuff in a row before that March 1st date, and it just didn't happen. So we had to submit some more paperwork because we didn't launch before that gate closed. Now that all that paperwork has been submitted, it's all been approved. We've got back in hand as of last Friday that our paper was approved by MiCA. I want to say it's last Friday. Don't hold me to that. It was sometime in the last 7 days. So now we're going back out to our other partners and say, okay, we're clear to go now. Now we can trade in Europe, and we're registered, and we passed all the regulations, which of course gives a lot more people a lot more confidence in the project. It's not going to be one of those rug pulls. So now it's a matter of getting them all lined up on a date that works for everybody. And this is not, I wouldn't say there's a massive amount. It's not like we have to get 20 groups into synchronization, but it's about 5, right? We have got to get them all synchronized on a date that works for everybody. And as soon as we have that date that works for everybody, we're going to drop it in, make sure everybody knows when it happens. But I kind of want to go back to say, if you're here for the token, that's great. If you're here for the community, even better. But really, our focus is on helping the gaming industry get to that place where cloud gaming actually works. Because the versions that are existing right now, they've got a goal. We share a goal with them. We share the same goal, and that is to get access to top tier games to as many people as possible, to expand the gaming industry, to allow people to play the best content anywhere they are on any device that they have. And then secondarily, allow people who have devices that are powerful to earn money, passive income from their gaming PCs at home. So those are the shared goals. And that's what we're looking for our community to be involved in changing the gaming industry for the better and enabling people to earn passive income with the equipment that they own, with the technology that we've created. Whew, that was a lot. All right. I'm going to get off my high horse. I'm going to say thank you again for tuning in. I'm going to ask you to please get involved. Go to the app.yom.net if you haven't yet and register your wallets and get involved in the questing system. Spread the word about what we're doing, what we believe in, how we think we're changing the gaming industry for the better, and how we want you to all come on board with us to do that. And we will talk again on Wednesday. So please be good to yourselves, be good to people around you, drink lots of water, get some sunshine, touch some grass. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Talk again soon. Cheers, everybody.